Another woman amidst the Jean Carroll trial is talking about the experience that she had with Donald Trump many years ago. This is Jessica Leeds, now 81 years old, testifying just yesterday to support the defamation lawsuit of Jean Carroll. She talked about the experience she had back in the 1970s, saying that a flight attendant invited her to sit in a first-class seat on a flight next to Trump. They shared a meal and a conversation before Trump suddenly, quote, decided to kiss and, quote, grope her. Now, I know for many of you, the idea that Trump would just decide to just go for a kiss and a groping seems hard to believe coming from Donald Trump, who has been quoted on video saying that that is his exact strategy. But she goes on saying there was no conversation. It was like out of the blue. It was like a tussle. He was trying to kiss me, trying to pull me towards him. He was grabbing my breasts. It was like he had 40 zillion hands. It was like a tussling match between the two of us. She accused him of trying to put his hand up her skirt, after which she, quote, managed to wriggle out and went back to her seat. So look, that's 15 to 20 years before the experience of Jean Carroll. It's also about 15 to 20 years after the experience of Jean Carroll that he would go on to tell Billy Bush that his strategy when it comes to dating is to just maul women in public because he's a celebrity and they'll let you do it. Anyway, this accusation has been going around for at least 7 years. And his defense against what Jessica Leeds has said, you might find familiar from other accusations of sexual assault against him, saying, believe me, she would not be my first choice, that I can tell you. And so add Jessica Leeds to the long list of women saying that they have been harassed or assaulted by Donald Trump, who he did not assault, we are assured, because they're not attractive enough for him to have attempted to rape. That is the legal defense stated repeatedly by the former most powerful man in the world. JR.
And also begun with believe me, because that's a legal statement. So always a good way to start your statement. Believe me, she's not my type. I'm gonna talk about how her face looks. I'm gonna talk about how her body looks and all those types of things. When if you take a quick glance at this guy, all these folks you would not be their first choice either. But then again, back to experts, back to reality, back to what people have studied and seen. Sexual assault perpetrators like this, it's not nearly about who they're attracted to. It's about power and control, and it's about manhandling, do whatever the hell they want. A matter of even just opportunity. So this woman was placed next to him in this first class seat. Do you think he would go, flight attendant, please, could I have someone that I'm more attracted to come sit so I can sexually assault? It wouldn't have to work that way. It's a crime of opportunity. He's like, oh, here's a woman. I'm this guy. Again, all allegedly. And that's the way he approaches things. Again, as you said, he's described it. He's openly said it. But then we can go to the next throw off point that people like to say is, what about the timing of this? You guys know he's running for president. That's why you guys are bringing this up. These stories about Jean Carroll I've heard years before. We heard it again when he was running for president. Then we hear it again now. We heard it everywhere in between. But the difference is who's paying attention to these stories still being brought up. That's the difference.
And again, so why would she bring this up again? Oh, it's to become famous. Yes, because there's no better kind of fame than the kind that gains you nothing except being stalked and harassed for the rest of your life. It's the sort of claim that makes sense only if you don't think about it for even a microsecond. But it seems like an effective defense. Nobody expects that Jessica Leeds bringing this up is going to result in Trump going to jail. That's not going to happen. Nobody thinks that. Jessica Leeds doesn't think that. But it is very weird that they care way more about the timing. I mean, they're not even right about the timing, but they claim to care about the timing than they do about whether he has spent decades sexually assaulting women. And to get what year are we into this whole Trump thing? 80 years that we've been talking about this now. I know that we've gone over this specific assault. We've gone over literally dozens of assaults. I know that all of you don't need to be told that he's an absolute monster. We know that. That's sort of baked in at this point. But the fact that so many millions of Americans apparently have no line beyond which they will refuse to cross in their support of Donald Trump. There are politicians that I like. There are politicians that I support. If I found out that AOC's favorite hobby was taking French bulldogs on drives and then throwing them out the window, I would not still support her. But that wouldn't even rank for Donald Trump, and they don't care at all about it. It's such a weird place we've gotten to as a country that none of this matters to these people. Anyway, best of luck to Jean Carroll and the rest of these dozens of women desperately hoping for something to happen so they can have some peace.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.